Is my mic up?
Reggae horn.
Your mic is up.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unwanted Opinions. I'm your host, Justin MacDonald, here with Matt Fischer,
Sup with it.
fact checker Jesse James, executive producer Dave Miller, broadcasting live out of the Workspace Collective in beautiful downtown Ocala. I was thinking about it this morning as I was listening to my...
About how beautiful it is?
Yeah.
Traffic's not beautiful.
I was thinking about it this morning when I was coming in here and I was listening to Eazy-E, and in a lot of his songs he uses just Compton as like a background noise, and I was thinking what that would sound like if it were Ocala, like Ocala. It didn't hit the same.
Yeah, it'd have to be Bellevue.
Yeah, let's hear it.
No,
Yeah, come on.
I'll flip it.
Okay.
You could always do Ocala. Or I'm trying to think of Ocala.
Yeah,
that's
Ocala.
one.
Anyway, I just thought that'd be an interesting way to. So if you're out there making rap in Ocala, and you use Ocala as a baseline, let's hear it.
I would have to say the 352, like going the route of other rappers and just using the area code would be better.
I have heard.
It's a lot.
352
Yeah,
rap.
it just seems much catchier. Because
Yeah,
we could try with Ocala. I mean, like, part of me wants to start rapping now to see if we can make it work.
Just do it.
Please do.
Not like freestyle. I can't do that. I'm like most white rappers. I'm gonna need like time to think this up and like refine it. Like I don't have the talent to just like come out with something.
You know MGK, huh?
I'm having a hard time. Like I don't know much about him.
MGK song though.
Huh?
The one with Waka Flocka.
The first one he ever came out with, Wild Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard the one like he's like pop punk now or something, and it's awful.
He's going back to rap. Next
Ugh.
album.
I
I don't
didn't
know
realize
why.
he-
Maybe that was like all planned. Like
Yeah, he's doing like this emo punk
yeah,
pop.
it's very like pop punk emo, and it's pretty terrible. But maybe he's doing that. You and I were talking about the other day. Maybe he's doing that to be a contrast, not in this specific situation, but in other situations. Like this is gonna look so bad that when he goes back to rap, it's gonna make him look good again.
All right.
You know what I'm like? It's all planned.
Yeah, all right.
Like it's planned awfulness.
I was trying to figure out what conversation.
I
you were talking
can't.
about.
I remember the concept of the conversation, which was
So we were
that.
talking about service industry people, and you were like, "Well, that's why I try to be nice to someone."
Oh, that's right. It was the Dollar General talk.
in the service industry.
I couldn't think of it.
So you said, "Yeah, I try to be nice to like make up for all the bad people," and I was like, "I try to be way worse.
Yeah.
Like the worst person they see in that day, so the next terrible person they see doesn't seem as bad."
You know, and like when you said that, it did make sense because I was like, me being nice to these Dollar General cashiers is like spitting in the ocean. It's probably making no difference because every customer I see in there every time I go in is absolutely awful,
Terrible.
And so, like you said that, I was like, you know what? Shoot, he's actually making sense now. You're gonna leave, and they're gonna go, that was the biggest douche nozzle,
Right.
idiot guy I've ever dealt with.
Yep.
And then the next lady that comes in who's absolutely yelling at him, they're like, what a breath of fresh air. What a breath of fresh air. She only called me one bad name.
Yeah.
She didn't even strike me.
Were you working at the office when a few of us were there when that guy was trying to swipe his finger for the credit card?
No, but that sounds about right.
Yeah, there was like a few of us in the DG at the time, just grabbing drinks or whatever. And this guy was like, "Yeah, it's not going through." And the person at the register was like, "For the third time, that's your finger, sir." Oh, boy.
Work that Family Dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't know how those places stay staffed. With at least the one near us, like I see the types of people they deal with, and it's just a very...
Yeah. I think the key is that the employees literally give zero craps about basically everything.
But the
because
one
I
guy
can't tell you how
there
many times
does,
I walk
though.
in there and I'm like, thank God they have a self-checkout because ain't nobody in this store.
Well, I feel like there's one guy in every Dollar General that's like,
Yeah.
You're right. There is the one, and he's
we
the
have the
glue.
one guy.
and it's probably not even a manager.
I think this guy became a manager. I don't think he's a store manager. I think he's just a shift
Okay.
manager.
He showed up for work 5 consecutive days, which automatically gets
Right.
you the managerial position.
Right.
So,
I don't even get it because the prices aren't even good. at
no,
Dollar
they're
General.
not. But
No.
they're predatory, if anything.
It's what are those called? It's like it's not an urban oasis.
Food desert.
Food desert.
Yeah, they They like
So it is some kind of oasis in a food desert.
yes, because and they look at like I think when they're like choosing their next location, it's not random like, oh, we just got a good deal on this lot. It's just like they're looking at, demographics and property values and stuff like that because they're like, where can we pop in and swindle people out of their good hard-earned money?
And I feel like there's one every 5 miles.
There are now, yeah. It's like they're becoming more and more popular because, and that's a crazy thing though, is they started off like kind of in these food deserts and now they're like, they really are branching out some, but it's insane. I've bought snacks there recently and I thought, I shop at normal grocery stores and I thought they were the same item and I get them back and I realize that while they cost about the same, if not more, the packaging is smaller. Mm-hmm. It's like 2/3 of what you'd get at a normal grocery store. And it's crazy to think that like all of the food producers are on the same tip. They're like, we're going to create the regular 20-ounce version, then we're creating the 16-ounce version that looks like the 20-ounce version for the dollar stores. And then like people go there and I think they just forget that they're not buying
I think
a normal item
I
because
think a lot of it has to do with it's the dollar, dollar.
Right.
It has dollar in
And
the
it's
name.
just-
Yeah.
And they're just like, this has got to be cheaper. It's the Dollar General.
Oh, it's got to be a good deal because they're like, you're right. That makes
Why
sense.
would they do this to us?
Or or they just don't care because it's in close proximity to where they live.
You can take your
that's why I visit mine.
your Jazzy, your hover round can make it there.
And that's why I stop there, when I'm at work because like, oh crap, I forgot a drink or I forgot a snack. Let me just run in there and pay $9.
Yeah.
For 2 things.
Yeah, and driving to the Publix on 27 is way too much work. Right. It's just so much farther away, even though it's not, but it is.
Also, you should be required to clean the trash up out of your parking lot. Like
as a business,
like how do we not go by and like, hey, by the way, you don't clean this trash up, and I'm sorry if it's your customers, but that's customers you're attracting. Like, well, you got to take care of it. There was literally a boat in the parking lot for like
there was
a week or two, like not on a trailer,
just sitting on the ground.
Yeah,
it's funny that you mentioned that because when I went there last week, I had like a toothpick and I was like, I need to throw this away, like a little small piece of trash. But I get out and I'm like, I was like, there'll be a trash can at the front, and I go up and there's no trash can at the front, so I just put it in my pocket. I check out and I come out and I'm like, there's got to be one in here. And sure enough, I don't even know if it was like, I think it was like a trash can that they bought from the dollar store that like had a bag and it was like shoved behind a cart next to like, I think it was like the ice or the propane machine. But it's like that's why there's so much garbage there, is like they don't have like the garbage out front like a normal can like most places do for you to put your stuff, so it just goes in the parking lot.
Right.
Yeah, it's just one more thing they got to do.
They used to have a trash can out front, and then they took it away because they were like, people just they would just pull up and dump all their own personal stuff in it. So they would fill up in just a matter of minutes, really. Yeah. So they ended up taking it away.
And it sucks because it's like those people that were dumping their trash in the Dollar General garbage can now are dumping that probably somewhere in the woods,
right,
or on the side of the road.
That's where that boat's at right now.
Yeah,
there's a surprising number of boats around.
Right. Anyway, moving on. Dave, how was Chicago?
You got to lean towards that microphone.
It was great.
Okay, moving on.
No, it was awesome. My first time going to Chicago. We went for a job with Maven Photo and Film, and Megan and I were there for 5 days before Brooke joined.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we were there the whole working week. We
yeah.
worked Monday to Friday, and then Brooke and Ben came in on Thursday. Joel and Victoria came in on Thursday, and it was awesome. We went to Alinea, which is an amazing restaurant that was featured on Chef's Table.
So this whole time I thought it was Align A.
Same.
Really?
So it's Alinea. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Sorry.
You uncultured swine.
Shows you how much I'm not supposed to be there.
All I saw was, I was like, man, he's eating way different than what I eat when I go to Chicago. I didn't see any pizza, any hot Italian beef sandwiches.
And we did do hot dogs. Like, I ate, like, my first day there, I had 4 hot dogs.
I tried to get Megan to bring me one back, and she just kept talking about how I was going to get smashed in the luggage.
So good. We went to a Cubs game. We had some hot dogs at the Cubs game, cold beer. Like, I feel like we did Chicago well. Had deep dish the first night. But yeah, we ate our way through Chicago.
That's
but it's
awesome.
Beautiful. The city is absolutely incredible. I want to go back there. the parks, and it was just clean. That was the biggest difference, you know. It was just super clean.
So you were on the north side of Chicago.
You did not go to the O.
He wasn't in Chirac.
No,
Yeah.
definitely not.
Yeah, I was watching your stories, and when you ate at Alinea, I just pulled out my credit card. Like, do I have to pay to just even watch this?
That was my first thought too. I'm like, I don't even want to try and comprehend that bill because I'm like, there's stuff I hadn't even seen before.
Yeah, it was a whole surprise for us. I mean, it's a 3 Michelin star restaurant, and it's like about the experience. So it's not necessarily how amazing the food is, and the food was amazing.
Okay, I was gonna say I'd better be about how amazing the food is, at least a little bit.
Like they had these decorative ornaments that were hanging from the ceiling, I thought were ornaments, and then like at the third or fourth course, they come in and they take them down, and it's food, and they crack it open, and it's like a celery root, and then they shave it and they put it in this coconut cream sauce, and it was amazing. Good time though.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Food is like art in that sense.
I think
You get to a certain level,
right,
and you're just like, we can do whatever we want. Like we can literally do whatever we
They
want.
painted the
y'all
table
want me to
with
crack
food.
some celery on your plate? Clap your hands. Yeah, that's how many Michelin stars can you get?
5.
No idea.
I think you're just guessing at 5. I mean, it's a
I
good
would-
guess.
it is a good
That's what
guess.
I would guess.
If I'm right, I'm gonna say,
need to
"Told
fact
you
check it.
so."
I think I've been able to brag about this on the air before, but I went to a Michelin star.
Yeah, but that
rated
was
restaurant
really interesting.
and ordered many entrees because I got it like that.
It was like a street side noodle house in
Mox-
Hong Kong.
Yeah,
though.
Mox noodles, and at the time, no plate was over $1.70 each. So I was like, give me that, give me this, give me that. And it was amazing. It was really, really good. The guy that started the restaurant had previously worked at a Michelin star rated restaurant. Yeah. And he was like, hey guys, like a portion of what I'm cooking doesn't have to cost that much. And so he was like, I'll prove it to you. And open it
Can
up.
you believe how outraged the Michelin Man would have been when he heard that? Like, what? Cheap?
It is still, after all these years, it is still surprising to me to find out that it's the tired people that rate food.
For the audience, Michelin star restaurant rating and Michelin tires, it's the same Michelin.
3 stars, the highest you can get.
I friggin' knew it.
We did it up.
So that was like the highest rated stars.
It was good.
That's awesome.
It's like 26th in the world. Rated.
Who's
restaurant.
first?
I don't know.
That's
Subway.
bro.
Eat fresh.
They're not even a foot long.
Explains your shirt today.
ODB?
It's a yellow Subway color.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Gotcha. I'm
With the
colorblind.
green background. Yeah.
Yeah,
Holding it down.
eating fresh.
You're one of the new spokespeople.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're better than the last one.
I tried to make a joke about the Subway spokespeople.
Everyone's
It did-
forgotten.
It did not go well.
Do they have new ones?
They have new ones because it's like Tom Brady and
Oh, wow.
Steph Curry
Really?
and stuff like that. And I was saying, because I still see people complaining about Papa John's, and Shaq is like the spokesperson and CEO or whatever of Papa John's. And I still see people like, oh, that's a racist company. And I'm like, how come no one immediately now? And Shaq got a lot of heat for it. Like, oh, yeah, you're a race traitor and all that stuff. And I'm like, how come no one's calling Steph Curry and Tom Brady pedophiles? Like, they went to Subway and were the spokesperson for Subway.
I didn't like Subway really before then, and then that came out, and I'm like, I'm definitely not eating there now. And I honestly can't tell you the last time I've had a Subway. Like,
Imagine being.
I have Publix in town.
For all of you that don't know, which I don't know how you wouldn't, Jared, the old Subway guy, got busted for child porn. And I'm like,
It's frowned upon.
imagine
Highly.
being like the largest shareholder for Subway and finding that out. And being like, what?
Yeah, we put all of our eggs in this one now skinny basket,
Yeah.
and
That's it.
turns out he's a pedo.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But
Like,
yeah, they got,
I thought at the time, I'm like, this is gonna crush. Also, Subway, they say, is like the largest fast food chain in the world.
yeah, it overtook MacDonald's
Which,
a couple years ago.
When I saw the
Or at least for a
infographic,
while it did.
I've been trying to share this for the last 15 minutes, by the way. I'm borderline dumb or something, but anyway.
It's not a borderline.
Yeah.
We know.
I've gotten
You're
to
an
the,
immigrant in the territory of dumb.
I don't know what that means. That was a dumb comment.
crossed
But
the
I
border.
thought for sure that I was like, this is the end of that chain. This is not gonna you're not gonna recover from that. And I feel like it didn't even really it dinged him a little bit, and then they quickly moved on. and are now the #1 fast food restaurant in the entire world. So like it's just still mind-boggling to me that can happen.
Subway is?
So, yeah, Subway.
It's
Isn't that a crazy fact though?
'cause they
like
don't-
imagine all these like people out in like I don't know, India, Southeast Asia, Russia, going like, yeah, I want a what is it, chicken teriyaki Subway sub. Like I don't know, it just doesn't seem legit.
McDonald's in Poland was huge. Like that's like a very popular thing there. That blew my mind. But I did go eat there, and their breakfast is incredible. Like almond croissants, and like their whole coffee lineup is different. It's good coffee.
Beer.
Well, here's the thing though: is fast food outside of America is much higher quality than fast food in America. We are literally, I feel like, getting like the slop of it.
I remember going out of country one time, and someone was like, "Yeah, someone ate McDonald's every day," and I'm like, "What an uncultured swine piece of crap to do that." Well, then I found out that Asia doesn't really like breakfast like America does.
Okay.
And I went miles and miles trying to find a place for breakfast, and they're eating like cold soup noodles in the morning. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, or they just have like baked goods. I'm like, I don't want just like, a roll.
Yeah, I remember eating pho for breakfast on my honeymoon
Yeah.
a handful of times. Like it's just common.
And so I found McDonald's, and I eat McDonald's every day. And I cannot believe. Of course, I had to talk trash about that person because now every
Now
day
you're
for
doing it.
breakfast. Because I'm like, I need some protein. I don't want
Yeah.
cold noodles in the morning.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
You're like, y'all ever had biscuits and gravy?
Yeah. No one does breakfast like America does breakfast.
That makes me think. Sometimes I'm like, would I don't know. Like, would an American restaurant with biscuits and gravy and like just stereotypical like delicious, good old home style American cooking like do well in certain foreign markets?
When-
if you just opened up like and just had some kitschy name like America's Kitchen, and it's just like hot dogs, biscuits and gravy.
When we went to Reykjavik in Iceland, we ate breakfast at this place called like the Laundromat or something like that. And across from there, and that's because they had like Americanized breakfast, they had like this huge restaurant coming in, and it was just called like America Burger or something like that.
Great name.
Yeah, and I ended up looking it up because they didn't open until after we left, and it was basically the same exact thing, and apparently it was a very, very popular place.
There's a place in Poland called Jeff's, and it's like
Even better name.
It's got the American flag outside called Jeff's, and it was packed. The parking lot was packed. I'm like, it looked like an Applebee's.
Jeff and Ron's.
It's great that it looked like there's just trinkets on the wall, like old magazine covers, some hubcaps, it's just lots of flair, lots of flair.
Random high school football helmet.
Yeah. I can't remember where I was reading it, but it was like one of those like it might have even been like Reddit. People were talking about like they were like multiple people confirming that when they went to Italy, like the like authentic Italian pizzerias would sell like an American style pizza, and it was just like it had like ranch dressing on it, and they're like hey, I'm from America, pizza's not like this, and they were like the guys were adamant. They're like yes it is, yes it is,
That's funny.
and it's just like their interpretation of how Americans do pizza was like so off the rails, and they're just like. I can imagine all the Europeans like.
Oh, that was like when we were in Asia too. We ordered. I think we ordered a pizza. I can't remember what it was. It was something very much that would not use ketchup, and we were the
There's
only
ketchup
two
on
white
it.
guys in there. And the like person taking our order, like someone talked to them, and they ran out, and they're like, "Sorry," and they're handing me packets and packets of ketchup. I was like, "Oh." Thanks. And she was like very excited to give it to me, and I'm like,
Oh my God.
yeah.
Americans love
They're like, here's the thing you don't know. They can't eat any meal without putting
Right.
ketchup on it.
Copious amounts of ketchup on it.
It's like if it's not ketchup, it's ranch.
Yeah.
Those are like the two I think most American condiments: ketchup and ranch. Put it on everything.
We were talking in the office one day, and someone said, "I remember when they made ranch." I was like,
What?
That's something that I've never even considered."
When was ranch created?
What?
I don't know, but that's what our kids are going to say that about like Mountain Dew.
I mean, the
and
valley
Doritos
is
and all
hidden,
that.
so they probably didn't see it right off the bat.
Wow. Ranch dressing was created in 1949. That's a lot
Yeah.
newer than I had imagined.
Who created it?
A plumber turned cowboy.
What? Are you being for real?
He's
Yeah.
a contract plumber in Alaska. You didn't know that?
Yeah.
I don't know if you're kidding with me right now about the contract plumber in Alaska turning cowboy.
Steve Henson.
You can just turn into a cowboy?
Yeah, apparently.
Guys,
And then create a condiment.
got some big news coming.
What a weird shift. He's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be a cowboy, and then created ranch dressing.
Haven't you ever heard of Kid Rock?
Do you apply to be a cowboy? I don't even know. How do
No,
you start?
first of all,
You just
you
call
acquire.
yourself a
No. First of all,
Night school.
be a man. Second of all, acquire cows.
Night school.
You're halfway there at this point.
I think you actually
3.
have to be a boy.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be a
you're
cow
right.
man. I'm trying to be a cowboy. I
Yeah.
missed it. It's too
Cowman
late.
is a little different.
How different would that Kid
That
Rock
involves
song
some
sound?
gene splicing. Huh?
Cow man.
Oh, man.
Want to be a cow man, baby. That's my new hit single coming out.
You idiots with microphones.
Yeah, right?
4.
I'm not Kid Rock, I'm Child Rock. I'm just gonna. That's what I'm gonna become now. I'm Child Rock, and I'm just spoofing Kid Rock songs.
So,
have a short
in the
career.
form of like Kids Bop.
You'd be surprised.
So a plumber turned cowboy created ranch. So it sounds like a plumber turned cowboy turned condimentian.
Condimentian.
Yes.
Condiment monger
He was working
is the
on his
actual term.
buttermilk recipe, and he stumbled across the recipe for ranch.
Okay, I don't even know.
What's funny is Jesse has a computer, and so I know he's probably looking this up. You just like turn around and you're just spewing this knowledge.
I'm looking at it on my phone.
Your phone is face down, like a foot away from you.
I already read it. Okay. Well, how did we get on ranch? Oh, I said someone was like, "Yeah, I remember when ranch
Yeah.
was made." But I mean, that's going to be.
Who are you talking about too that was like alive and had memories in 1949? Like, because they got to be old right now.
I don't think that it hit like retail stores. I don't think he made it, and everyone was like,
Wasn't?
"Send it out the door."
Have you, hold on.
People are gonna
Have
love
you
this on
had
pizza.
ranch?
I have had.
Okay, then I'm pretty sure it hit the ground running.
I hated
Like-
ranch up until like not too long ago. Actually, I just didn't like a lot of condiments. I liked mustard.
It's the
I
mayonnaise.
like
It's the
mustard,
mayonnaise.
probably. I like mustard. That's my
Yeah.
thing. But I realized like, oh, this cools down really hot things. Instead of just not getting really hot things.
It's the dumbest description of ranch I've ever heard. I mean, it makes sense.
Well, you ever been eating something? You're like, wow, this is too hot. Let me just.
yeah, you do the reverse blow though.
Okay.
You know, like when it's in your mouth, you don't want to spit the food out. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's real.
Yeah, can you not say reverse blow again? Mouth suck? I don't know how
Yeah,
to say
yeah,
it.
you're not gonna like.
Yeah.
I have the problem of like eating food like when it's way too hot.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, you just get so hungry. You
Yeah.
just can't wait for it. Like I don't have the patience for it to cool down.
But we're going to be that way. I mean, with our kids, we're going to be like, yeah, I remember when such and such wasn't a thing. That's like super normal now.
Facebook,
Well, okay.
cell phones, like we got a lot of them.
I just mean
Macaroons.
food,
Who the
though.
hell ate macaroons 10 years ago?
Macaroons are so expensive.
Yeah, and I'm not a
I don't
big fan
even
of
really
them.
like them.
I don't think
Yeah.
they're not that good. And that's like,
Well, that I think it has to do with the price because it's this big. You're like,
I mean,
it's
it
just
might
don't
be
like the
tripping me
taste,
out. Like,
yeah.
but I feel like if they were like $5 for $1, I'd be like, you know what, give me a brownie.
Yeah,
Like-
I knew my wife when we were dating. I knew she liked them, so I was like, oh, I went to a place that had them, and I was like, yeah, give me 5 of those. And so I go to pay, and they're like, yeah, 32, and I was like,
Ooh.
I'll take one.
I said
Yeah.
5, not 5 dozen. I
Yeah.
just want like
I don't want 5 packages.
single. And they're like,
the
yeah,
lady's
they're-
like, these ain't munchkins.
yeah. Should be. I
Dunkin'
like
Donuts is
Munchkins
down the
better.
road. I think it's because they're brightly colored and they're cute.
Well,
And then like they've just and they
look-
have a fancy French name, so they fetch a premium.
They look like they take a lot of work to make too.
Yeah.
It looks like 2 vanilla wafers with some whipped cream in the middle.
No,
It's much more than that.
that's a whoopie pie.
I know it's much more than that, but it's just
So Soleil just opened up the new bakery.
I've been
and
waiting
they are
on this
pushing
moment.
Macaroon. No.
Why?
They're pushing macaroons and
Oh.
pies and cakes. We had a conversation about it last
Awkward.
night, and it's a whole entire thing. They don't have bread there, and I feel like if you're a bakery, you should have
What?
some kind of bread, right?
Hold on.
Okay, good.
Hold on.
Am I wrong?
They
no.
don't
I
have
love bread. Bread is life.
Because
Like, we're getting
I
a
saw that it
bakery
was
down
going.
Yeah, no,
I was like,
I got
cool.
excited about a
I'm
bakery.
gonna go get some sourdough.
Yeah, bingo. Let me hit that culture
I
up.
haven't went in there, but all those things I've seen on social media, I've not seen any.
Do macaroons not have bread in them?
Okay, so we need to check first to see if they have bread. Because I don't want to. Hey, congrats on opening. Thanks for being here.
A breadless bakery.
But please have some bread.
Yeah.
Do they have bread? Fact checker?
If you want to make bread, you got to make bread. You know what I'm
Pies
saying?
have bread. Pies are like bread.
No, pies are not like bread.
Pies are like bread.
What?
Yeah, good old turkey and pie sandwich.
No, I mean like it's like a bread product.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know.
It's a dough. It's a cooked dough. Like I thought we were talking about
Female deer.
And that venison?
You're being a real dough right now. Oh wait, that's the other feet. Never mind.
That was a long stretch to get there.
Yeah, my arms hurt for stretching
So
on that one.
speaking of bakeries, are they listed on the Vote 352 campaign?
Brr, 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 brr.
So I've got interesting thoughts on the Vote 352 campaign.
Do you know who's not listed on the Vote 352?
Tell us, David. Tell us.
Maven Photo and Film,
Yeah.
nor is TJM Promos for marketing. So
That's because they don't matter.
all of the sudden,
The voting things.
Wow, yeah. that was-
Not the two people. Let me clarify.
Quick
It's
save.
arbitrary.
It's a shit-talking podcast.
right?
Well,
All of a sudden, I see that people are like, "Hey, vote for me in this, Vote 352 thing," and I'm like, what
vote
is
for my
this?
aquarium cleaning business, and it's like, what?
Yeah, and I'm like, what is this? I've never even seen this list ever. Who's backing this? Like, what is the judging style like? So I start looking into it, and I'm like, oh, there's zero like known qualifications.
You can't even write it in.
Yeah, there's no. I don't know if there was like a voting process to get them in, like,
I would venture to say no.
and it's all. Were you about to say something?
Yeah, no, I'm going to say something real quick. They do have bread there. Sorry. They
All
have
right.
bread. They have focaccia. But go ahead.
Focaccia.
Focaccia. A gluten-free yeast roll.
Hey, you know what?
What?
Speaking of which,
Blasphemy.
And what?
Blasphemy.
I'm just.
Gluten-free yeast roll.
I want gluten in like injected yeast rolls, like extra gluten.
I like gluten-free stuff. Speaking of which, it just reminded me, your wife posted this Instagram story, and it was like some coffee drink, and I was like, oh, is this a weird take on affogato? And she
the ice cream.
affogato to respond to me
Good one.
because I it just hit me. the
And
other
my
day, I was
jokes are a
like,
stretch.
yeah, all right, that was better than
That was not bad.
yeah, but no, I
Had a better setup. I'll give that to you.
I was like, oh, I should make a affogato at the house the other day, and I was like, oh, she never responded to me. I have no idea what it was, but it was like a nice cone made out of ice cream. Anyway, that's something I could have told you off air and didn't have to interrupt the show on.
Back to
It was a good joke, though.
Thank you. So I look into it, and I'm like, this literally has no bearing on anything. It's genius marketing, though. I see
Yeah.
Scott Caldwell on every single page.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Scott, good for you. I don't really know Scott, but this is what I know about Scott, and I love this about him. If he sees that anyone is having a birthday anywhere in the world that he has access to commenting on, he always comments happy birthday. And it may sound like I'm being facetious, but I'm not. I think it's really cool that he takes time out of his day. Like, if you post your kid's having a birthday, he's on it. If you have a birthday, he's on it. Like, they used to have, like, special posts. Like,
Scott, I'm expecting a birthday well wish from you coming up in August.
he will. I'll talked
see
to
you
him
there.
about it before. I'm like, we haven't. Yeah,
I'll see you there.
We haven't talked about much, but we've talked about.
you. That's the camera.
Thank you, David.
He likes talking to himself.
That's how I start my mornings.
We haven't talked about much, but we've talked about his birthday greetings, and it's smart. He's the sponsor for this voting, and he's on every single page, which is smart. And there's all this organic traffic going to it because literally someone just goes, "Hey, we're gonna make a vote."
Yeah.
And just share it. So a lot of people are excited to go out there and say, "Hey, vote for me, vote for me, vote for me."
I
Right.
sent them a message yesterday.
Oh, did you? Did you hear
Asked
anything
why
back?
Maven wasn't on that list.
wow.
And no, I have not heard anything back.
Well, he's waiting for your birthday.
So to me, it's one of those like, hey, we're not going to do a lot of work on the front end to actually figure out why or have any qualifications as to why you might be listed. It's because it's not about that. It's, I want to get this natural traffic, right? I want people sharing it, and it's doing a genius job. Like I checked it was a site that's created in January, right? This
Really?
isn't a Michelin star rated thing where it's like, oh, we've had this process and you can trust our
Has the
decisions.
voting been up since January?
No, it's been up for a few days and it
Oh,
closes
okay.
in a few days. It's a smart thing to do, but also like I've talked to other people that are like, yeah, I'm kind of hurt that my business isn't on there. And I'm like, why do you care? It holds no bearing. If you want an award, I'll give you the award right now. You know what? Best film and photo.
Yeah, if you haven't heard of Maven, wah, 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 wah.
You've won.
If you're not using them, you're not using the best.
Right.
Good one.
Yeah.
You can use that.
We're gonna chop that up.
Why?
If you're not
That was
using
good.
them, You know,
You're using someone
use
else.
someone else.
Good.
I didn't hear y'all's taglines. Which
I'm not the tagline guy right now.
okay, so then mine is the best.
It is the best as of right now. Best commercial. And what do you guys specialize in now? You're like mostly commercials.
They do whatever you need.
Mostly commercial videography.
Yeah. Which is
Probably because they didn't have a commercial videography section. That's probably why you weren't included.
True that.
well, and that's the other thing too. Is like
I don't really know because I didn't look through all the sections because there was a lot and there's
Yeah.
like a lot of really like niche ones.
And the
I'm like,
categories
that's a
are-
weird thing to vote on.
They're either super particular or super wide open.
So what I think is interesting about those, well, 2 points is you told me about it and I was just like, I don't know what the URL is to find it. So I was like, I'm just going to go to Facebook. And you literally just told me. So I pull up Facebook and like you said, Genius Marketing. The first thing I see is someone posting and sharing that link.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, this just saves me a whole lot of time.
Yeah.
It's right there. But then I went to it and looked at the niche things, and I'm like, a lot of these are things that people will use like one time in their life.
right.
Yeah.
And so how are you going to have, like, best bakery, for example? Like, look, I'll go to a bakery all the time, and I feel like I can have a good, like, voice on which one is my favorite.
If
But,
it
like,
has
when it,
bread.
you know, yeah. But when it comes to, like, best, like, home remodeler, like, how many times are you getting your home remodeled? You know, like you might have had one good experience with one person, but does that mean they're better than the next person for you to vote on them? So that's, like, my take is there's, like, a lot of, like, really weird things where it's just, like, you use this service one time, and now you're going to vote on who's better than who.
Well, that's like one of the other ones, and I'm not trying to call anyone out, but
Call
they
them
did
out.
Best place of worship, and I'm like, how do
Yeah.
you do that?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, Harris Baxley received Best Funeral Home.
Oh,
15 years running,
yeah.
You know?
yeah, I don't know. So that's
Hey, they were in the
too,
ground
is
at the end of the day, so good job.
Nailed it.
like, so the coffin nailed it shut.
Shut.
I don't think they do that anymore.
Zing. Yeah, it's keeps
Never
us
know.
up. Yeah, you don't ever know.
Yeah, to me, I'm not mad at it. I think it's great marketing, smart, good for you guys. But don't be upset if you're not included because it's the first year of them doing it with no like judging system or
And
qualifications.
how do you become included? Do you just ask them, "Hey, will you put me on the list?"
I looked at some of the categories, and then some of the lists were pretty expansive. I did look at photographer because I do know you guys, and
It doesn't matter. Sarah Miller's gonna win anyways. She always wins.
is that Pink Ray?
Yeah.
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 She's amazing.
She like it was like hers was like the first one I saw where I'm like, oh, I know who that is. I haven't used her, but I was like, I know
Sarah's
who she
one
is.
of the first businesses that I ever saw really be negatively affected by the algorithm change on Facebook.
Really?
If you've known Sarah for a while, which I don't know how long you guys have known her, but when Sarah used to post, like her pictures would get hundreds and hundreds of likes and like thousands and thousands of reach. And then Facebook did the algorithm switch where it's like, oh, we're not going to reward businesses as high.
Okay.
And it just dropped off like drastically. Now, obviously, her work didn't, her clients didn't. She still does an amazing job. If you need a family photographer, I mean, amazing.
She's great.
But yeah, it was such a stark contrast from what it used to be. Like it was like, oh man, I hope she, people would like pay to have their pictures done by her just to like, I hope she posts one of them because the reach is just going to be insane. So that algorithm change was crazy.
I feel like they just scoured Facebook. Like
Yeah.
Scott and his team, they're
Oh,
like, just get
let's
on your
not- let's
Facebook
not
and
put
like
it
all
all
the
on Scott.
huh?
Let's not put it all on Scott.
No, I'm not. But what I'm
He's
saying is just like,
sponsored it.
yeah, but I just think from the list, because I'm like, there's a lot of people like I have never even heard of. I didn't even know that was. And I'm not saying I know everyone and know everything in town, but I'm like, this is like, haven't even heard, the most distance rumbling of this business. It sounds fake even, but like, so I think people arbitrarily picked them.
So on the flip side, that's a great thing, right? Like we get to know other businesses that we wouldn't normally do.
Yeah.
I started looking up all the photographers. There's literally a list of 30 photographers on there, and I'm like, I haven't heard of half these.
Yeah,
So,
that was the one I was talking
my thing
about.
with this though is when you don't give a qualifying or a judging process, and it's just a popularity contest. Like I don't
Arbitrary.
care. I'm not going to use a service. And Chrissy said it in here that actually she said it wrong at first and I was kind of confused.
Wrong.
But she said awards do not equate to success and income, which we very much know. I think I'm going to do up my own personal list because I get asked a lot because I'm born and raised in Ocala, but like I have my places that I like to eat and that I like to go, and it's like, and I ask my friends because I trust their opinions. I'm not going to trust some like random poll that's never, like there's no, again, there's no qualifications here.
Can you not like rehash like the same kind of poll and like do stuff that people are going to care about, like best public bathroom to poop in?
Worst collective.
Stuff like that,
Yeah,
like actual like
I never
useful
have to use
items.
bathroom.
Is it a public bathroom? I guess so.
No, it's not actually. Because that lady yelled at us last week. If they don't know the code, they should wait till 8 to get in. Not anyone at Workspace Collective. Yeah, that's a quality poll. But no, really, like I think of like Harem Foods, where I don't see them on anything.
Yeah.
Because it's food out of a gas station. But if you go, hey man, where can I get good Korean food? Or even just, where can I get something that I haven't been to? Like, all right, I'm going to tell you to go here. Or what's the Lotus?
Bangkok Cafe. Is it Bangkok? No.
It's Bombay Cafe, but they closed.
No, they're open.
They're reopened. I just found out.
They are open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was talking to my neighbors the other day, and they handed me a menu because it's reopened under new management, and like they expanded the menu, and they were like, it's phenomenal. And I think they're opening up a second location that is going to have meat, because this one is still vegetarian. Which
It's so good, I didn't even know it was vegetarian.
that's the thing, though, and I think that's what's wrong with like American cuisine. I'm like, vegetarian cuisine in America is like awful. They just like strive to make the most like best tasting vegetarian chicken nugget. I mean, like that's like the ultimate goal for I think American vegetarianism is like the most fake chicken that's plant based. And like, where's other
It's important
cultural?
to note though that it's not healthy, or some of it can be.
Yeah.
But like the gobi Manchurian that I get.
Well, it's all a lot of it's fried,
I
but
love gobi Manchurian.
Yeah.
But what I was getting at was like it is absolutely delicious vegetarian food. Like I could be a vegetarian if it was all food like that.
Yeah.
Instead of like what we get here, where it's like, here's a plant burger. Like no one wants a plant burger.
Bite into it.
Yeah, right. It's like we just took all the plants and put them into a patty and then season that, and it's just like fry up some cauliflower. Instead.
I remember Publix had a sale on like one of those Impossible, meats or whatever when it was like first getting big, and I was like, oh, cool. And I just threw it on like the pan grill, like I was just gonna pan grill a hamburger, and it just like melted to it.
Really?
Like, crap.
How are you supposed to cook it then?
I just
Like you bake it
on the grill, or like
that'd be the most vegetarian thing. You have to bake these burgers.
You gotta like
Baked hamburgers. What a weird concept.
or you gotta like put a lot of oil in there. But
Oh.
I was like, oh, okay, I can't just. There's not.
that's
It doesn't produce its own oil like
yeah.
a ground beef patty. Dang, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Gross.
The more you know.
So anyway,
Those are two
352.
good examples, though, of like you're right. I think in certain circles they're very well known, but like for people who are asking for recommendations, like Harem is like one of them. Where okay, y'all like all of a sudden on your
Dude, you just
How
had a
do you-
stroke.
Harem.
excuse me.
Harem.
Harem.
It's a harem. Harem, huh? You sure?
I have no idea.
I mean, if it's by choice.
What'd you call
Just
it?
kidding. I don't know what harem is.
I don't know how to. I don't speak Korean. I don't know. I'm doing my best, guys. I'm out here doing my best. So whatever.
Thank you for doing your best. I'm sorry that we.
It's entertaining.
Totally derailed me.
For your best.
But yes,
yes,
make the list so people can know. Just have, I don't know. I think if you do it, you could do it better than it's ever been done before.
I think so. I think we should go experience these places too. Like, I don't know. The other side of that too is someone was like, they moved away, and Chris Hills posted something about a spring or whatever.
Is that the only child of 6?
Yes, the only child of 6, Chris Hills. This is a couple of weeks ago, maybe even months ago. He posted a picture of a spring, and someone that used to live in Ocala that moved away said, yeah, except for that's not Ocala. I never saw anything like that there. What? And then so everyone just started like piling on, posting pictures of all these like private little, not private, but like small little springs. And she was like, okay, fine, I stand corrected. I guess I just never saw that. And I'm like, so many people aren't exploring their own backyard. There's so much to do here. That don't get me wrong. Go out, go to other cities, go to other states, go to other countries. I'm not saying don't ever leave Ocala.
But don't go to Juniper Springs once and think that's the only one.
Right. Or don't not go to Juniper Springs and then just be surprised when you see a picture of it and you're like, oh. Or you see the Juniper Run, like, oh, I've never seen that. Like, well, you never went out to the Juniper Run. Like, go do these things. And I think that, when we did My Ocala TV 8 years ago, one of the things that they did was like Ocala on a tank full or something like that. Or, it's like, what can you do?
It'd be a short segment nowadays. Am I right? How about them gas prices?
Or it'd be like a quarter tank full. Where can you go without spending $100 to get there? So, but it was neat because it highlighted like local things, and it's people that you know. Because the other side of that too is like some people are just afraid to ask. Like where was that? Where did you go?
Yeah.
Some people are really protective. We're in this culture now where people are like, save the spring state.
Yeah.
They don't want to share locations, which is fair. They don't want to overpopulate.
I hit those people up in the private message.
Yeah.
Do they usually share with you?
Yes, actually they have, because there's a couple spots where I'm like, hey, that looks really cool. I'd like, but it's just like, and I appreciate them not posting it, like you said, in the general comments section, because it's like, if they told me no, Dave, then cool. I don't know where it is. But if they told me yes, then like I know. And I haven't been there yet.
You can't tell people to go explore your backyard and then not tell them where to explore.
Right.
And it's just like, go out, walk around the woods and hope you find some water.
Right.
And I've done that. You guys have done that.
Did you find water though?
Yes.
Exactly.
Google Maps is amazing.
It
That's
is.
how you find holes.
It is. I know, like, you've shared some with me, and I think I've shared some with you, and a lot of times that's what I've done is, like, between, like, the Avenza maps to find, like, what dirt roads get there, and then Google Maps just to see, like, the terrain. It's just, like, that looks like something I can swim in, and I try and figure out where it is. And sometimes it's a marshy field, and sometimes it is actual swimming hole,
There's so many dope swimming holes in the National Forest that no one knows.
Yeah.
Like, no one goes there except for the locals.
Right.
That one that I told you about, it's insane.
And I haven't been out there yet, but I do have it marked.
This summer. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to do, and beyond just even the natural side of things. There's a lot of businesses here in town that like go check it out. I don't know, but don't do it because they won some random award and they close down next year. And I'm not I know I'm throwing a lot of shade at this competition. I don't mean to. Good for them. I think it's genius marketing, but don't be offended that you're not on the list. Let's do our own like.
As a person who has no skin in the game, though, like one other thing is just like I'm like, there's so many subjects and there's so many entries per.
They have marketing and we're not on there.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is, it's like I looked at some of them and I'm like, this is way too much for me to go through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like I mean, like the other votes that we've done, it's been like 4 options,
the
like
point
best
isn't
whatever.
for you to
There's
go
4
through
options.
it though. The point is for
Me just to go vote for like my 1 or 2
Bingo.
things. Yeah,
share it, get that organic traffic to that page. It's great. It's smart. Like, good for them. Be prepared for Vote Ocala to pop up.
best podcast. There's going to be one on there. It's going to be this one. There's not going to be a comments box for you to add in. Whatever your podcast is, it's just going to be this one only. Yeah. And you have to vote on that before you can vote on the rest.
#1 podcast in Central Florida.
Well, that's how we're going to get it. Is like to get into the site.
Comedy podcast in Central Florida, broadcasting live out of work.
And
okay, that's
asterisk, potentially also than the world.
Yeah, potentially.
Or we could just say world famous because
someone,
world famous.
Someone else right knows us.
Yeah, someone else in the world. That's all we need to know.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where in the world.
We're in the world. Someone knows us. Anyway, that's my little rant on that.
Well, I can't wait for the other voting one to happen as well.
We're gonna let this one die down a little bit. Then
okay.
Then we'll get into it.
Is Maven going to be on it?
Of course.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we're sponsoring.
Of course.
Well then.
So I see you got Book It up there.
Yeah. So my wife has had like this craving for like stuffed crust pizza, and I'm not mad at it.
Right.
But she was trying to get some from Papa John's. So quickly,
The racist pizza place?
Yeah, the
Got
racist
it.
pizza place. Like I was just like, look, if we want cardboard and ketchup, I would just go through our recycling bin and the the pantry and make our own. So I was like, if we're gonna get stuffed crust, we need to get it from Pizza Hut, and so we get it. But as we're talking over pizza, I had memories of the Book It program and Personal Pan Pizzas, and she had no clue what I was talking about.
Really?
What?
Exactly.
She
I was
private school.
I didn't know that though. I'm sitting
that's
there
crazy.
and I'm like, wait, I had to look it up. I'm like, this is a real program. I'm not just imagining anything. Like Book It was like a thing. And
Well, they still do it.
well, that's what I'm getting at is she didn't know about it because she was in private school. And I looked it up to show her, and I don't know if it took a hiatus and just got relaunched, but it is like the longest. Also, what I did know, it is 100% a pizza. I just thought it was a program that partnered with Pizza Hut. It is Pizza Hut's program,
Right.
Which
Yeah.
I never knew before.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I thought they just partnered with the chain, but it is Pizza Hut created this like in the 80s. It died down, and then they just relaunched the Book It program, so you can still like read. And basically, it's just like, look, if you're homeschooled, if you're in a public school, private school, you know, you can set your own program. Like they're making it super easy for like books read, words read, hours read. And still, you can get your personal pan pizza. And, like, the website still has the same colors. I don't know. It's just, like, this flood of nostalgia to know that, like, it's back and it's a thing. And it's the longest, like, what is it, like, corporate-run, like reading literacy, like, incentive program for kids or something like that.
awesome.
Like, it was
That's
insane.
specific, too.
I have to look it up because it was on their website. I can't remember what the exact thing
The
was.
longest run by a pizza chain, literacy for no, I think it's awesome. As a kid growing up, you know, there's a lot of us. We didn't go out to eat a lot. Every now and then we would get pizza for dinner. But ultimately, when the Book It came along and I was able to read and get those personal pan pizzas, like I'm not kidding you, it genuinely incentivized me to go and read books because I wanted those personal pan pizzas.
Those personal pan pizzas were good. So I looked it up just to clarify. It's the largest and longest running corporate supported reading program.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That is cool.
It's still active?
it is.
Where have you been for
Yeah,
this?
exactly. So I thought that was cool, but you're right though. It incentivized me because also I think part of it was we would go into the Pizza Hut and that was like a dining experience.
We didn't. We just got the personal pan pizza.
Well, like, yeah, my parents would take us. I don't know what they would get, but I remember, like, dining in and getting the personal pan pizza. But that was back when, like, pizza was fancy. You know, they had a sticker machine at the door. They had a salad bar, a couple arcade machines, like the fancy chandeliers, you know?
You're talking about the
one on
world's
40.
largest importer of kale up until, like,
Is that
2006.
true?
That's what they said.
Okay, so if you haven't seen it, there's like a meme out there. It showed the old Pizza Hut salad bar from like the 90s, and it said they used to be the largest importer of kale because like all of the dishes in the salad bar were like, the kale was like the decorative bits.
Decorative kale.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a better decoration than food.
Yeah, I saw that they relaunched the Book It program, and I think that's so cool. You know, my kids aren't going to be incentivized at all because we're lazy parents that get pizza like twice a week.
And it's always pizza too, probably. Like, why get a personal pan
I'll tell you, I was a big proponent of the Pizza Hut for a long time, but
Somebody named Karen Fischer said you loved Book It.
Yeah.
With 3Ds.
Yeah. Well, it was a good program, and I love pizza, so
yeah.
I think Book It might have contributed to my everlasting love of pizza, though.
Yeah, how does it not? That and like every cartoon we watched in the 80s and 90s.
You're right.
Like they're always eating pizza.
Like the
Teenage Mutant Ninja
cheesiest
Turtles.
pizza.
That's good shit.
Yeah.
What's a lenticular Book It button?
So it's the like holographic.
I was thinking the same thing.
So
Who
Yeah.
used the word lenticular?
who do you think? It's gonna be Chrissy, the person
Chrissy.
that's in
Yeah,
print
it's
and design.
definitely
Yeah. Making lenticular things is really cool because you have to just take the image and like finally slice it.
Yeah.
And then, it's pretty neat.
Lauren hates it, but she always wants me to get rid of my lenticular Jesus that's framed that I got from a flea market.
Well, obviously you can't. What are you gonna do? How
Dude,
do you-
I found like this gilded like mother of pearl frame too, and it was like literally from like the dollar store at like one of the flea markets, right? And it's like this plastic lenticular thing, and it goes Jesus, Mary, Jesus, and it like transforms. It's like the coolest
Would you
thing.
say it's art?
100%.
Do you think someone would purchase it?
I purchased it.
he's
The art
excited.
heist
He
that's
is.
coming up.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
no idea
literally
where you're heading with that. You're
love
just
this
really excited.
too much. No, like I mean, like it's like paired with the frame, like it's gorgeous.
Art Heist, May 13th.
Friday.
I freaking love the art heist, man. That's so much fun. If you guys haven't been, you need to go.
Can you explain what it is since you're so excited about it and you love it?
Yeah.
It's a fundraiser for Magnolia Art Exchange, but if you've ever participated in like a white elephant gift exchange, it's kind of like that. I can't remember the exact rules because Magnolia Art Exchange hasn't had one in a couple years now?
It's been a couple years.
It was like the big fundraising event that back when before Max was like fully functioning like it is now. But yeah, a lot of local artists donated their art, and you buy tickets, and then tickets are drawn, and then you can like choose your piece of art, but then also people can pay to choose to steal that art from you, of which case you get to choose like a new one. And it kind of goes around, and it can get very competitive as people are just kind of constantly stealing art from other people. And it is, I don't know, it's just, as far as fundraising goes, like, it's just a fun event.
Yeah, it sounds fun. I'm excited.
I love it.
It's certainly long overdue.
Yeah.
I've been involved with a lot of different boards, and I've probably never had more people request an event than they have the art heist. Like, hey, when are you guys doing the art heist again? When are you doing the art heist again? So I'm super excited to have it back.
When's the date of it?
May 13th. We're gonna have a special VIP room.
We are. We're gonna have a special VIP room.
That's what's up.
So more details will be coming on that. So,
Hell yeah.
yeah, it'll be fun.
Pretty exciting.
Get your
stuff.
tickets, people.
I've already seen some of the pieces being donated that just look amazing. We looked at one from Christine Shen, which was cool.
Yep.
Christina McGowan of Teak Lane showed me like she's done like a wooden butterfly, which is pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Dave Kellner's dropping some stuff off.
Oh, wow.
Second place artist.
Yeah, DJ.
His piece is ridiculous.
I love his work, too. His
I
work
haven't
is,
seen it yet.
his work just makes me smile.
I can't wait to
it's super
see
cool.
David's piece. That's going to be.
So he's dropping off too. So I'm curious to see. Yeah, I'm curious to see what he brings.
Yeah.
So,
I love his stuff.
both members of Maven Photo and Film are supposed to be donating.
I tried so hard. Megan had a piece in like the last art heist, and like I think everyone wanted it. I certainly did, and that was like one of like I think the more highly
Was it like
contested.
the half face thing?
No, I think it was one of her more organic ones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
and I
that.
could be confused. I can't. That could have been the first art heist. I don't know. Anyway, it was one of them. I think she might have had stuff in both of them, but yeah, it was just super highly contested. A lot of people wanted it, and that one traded hands a lot.
I don't think she's doing ceramic this year.
Okay.
But I think she should. So what I'm considering is going into her house
And just
Yes,
you're gonna art heist the art heist.
Do it. Yeah, please do. I think that would be fun.
Does she listen to the show?
She's listening right now, I think.
Uh-oh. Well, you just foiled your plan.
Yeah.
We're kidding.
It's a
Megan,
joke.
we're kidding.
Don't worry,
But anyway, we're
we'll
gonna need
edit
you
that
across town.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm super excited about it, and it's great.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
And I don't know how. It's great for people to actually get through the space too and see the actual studios.
We had a ton of people come through this weekend for the Hops house
yeah,
tour.
how was that?
Busy.
Yeah,
It was
you're like,
really-
yo, it's already popping off.
Well, so we were supposed to be open from 12 to 4. Max was supposed to be open from 12 to 4. I got there around 10, just kind of start setting up, and there were like 12 people waiting on me. I'm like, what?
You're like, hey, I got 2 hours.
Well, yeah, and I was like, I'm like, what's going on? They're like, oh, we're just waiting on the tour. I'm
That's
like,
crazy.
What? I'm like, what?
So did you actually give the tour?
No, so the building was open,
Right.
and we spoke to people as they came in.
Okay.
But then the tour itself was all throughout, but it was a self-guided tour.
Oh, okay, cool.
So they were supposed to end there, but
Yeah.
it went
So
backwards
that was
for
a
people.
historic Ocala Preservation Society. Like, were they also downtown at the houses?
Yeah, they were down
that's cool.
and on both sides, so north and south side.
Oh, very
They're
cool.
hopping around.
Yep.
I see what you did there. Nice.
Did they have segways?
No.
Dang.
No.
You just drove from spot to spot?
Yep. Or hoofed it if you wanted to.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they were pretty spread out.
Chief of police came through.
Yes. Not
Why'd you say it
yesterday.
like that?
Wednesday.
Because he was trying to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yep.
So why was he?
They were doing a photo shoot out back on the patio.
Okay.
So he stopped by. Was checking out the art,
That's
and
cool.
He knows Andy real well.
All right.
So they,
Why were they doing a photo shoot in the back?
For I want to say,
Yeah, a guy threw a rock here and we caught him. So.
yeah. No, it was for
Another example.
I don't know if
Yeah.
it was for Ocala Mag or it was something to do with the Boys and Girls Club.
Gotcha.
So
Nothing to do with Max, though.
yeah. They were just like, hey, we opened the door. It was like
That back
I guess.
area with like the sculpture, garden
Yeah.
behind it, and then Tuscaloosa behind that is like
Yeah.
you can't have much of a better spot for
Oh, it's
a
perfect.
backdrop.
Or
It's
the
gorgeous.
homeless encampment.
No, you conveniently like
Yeah, you
angle
position
it out.
angle the
yeah.
camera that way and not that way.
Yeah, just keep it art park and to the right.
That's like, yeah.
That's what makes it a good art park and art incubator is because it's like it did put up in like the side of town where it was just like there's literally nothing else was really
Yeah.
going on around there.
Yeah.
So
And it's blowing up now. That whole area is definitely growing.
Which was the goal. That was the
Yeah.
goal, is to try to build that area up, and it's definitely happening.
Yeah.
Which is pretty awesome.
And the depot right there should be open. The depot on Magnolia.
Yeah, what kind of food are they going to be selling?
No clue.
Okay.
Where's that
Still
at?
don't know.
Right where Dee Dee's was.
oh, okay,
I
cool.
thought they were supposed to be open the day that.
They were open, but they weren't serving food. They just had cookies. The
Okay.
cookies were good.
Well, that's
Hey,
good.
well, as long as you don't have crappy cookies.
He actually brought a whole plate full of them over as they were.
Okay,
eating.
that's really nice.
Yeah.
Did you snatch them aggressively?
No.
No one else knows that there was cookie because he just like put them into his duffel bag.
Yeah, 100%.
Let me just take care of these before anyone else sees.
The artists were like, "Are those ours?" I'm like, "No."
Nah, don't worry
Nah.
about these.
Nah,
He said
There's
these
no
are
cookies
Jesse's
here.
cookies.
that's cool. It'd be nice to know what they were going to be serving there.
Yeah, I'm trying to find more information.
They're on the 352 list. Yeah, so you can vote for them as one of the top new
You're
restaurants in Ocala.
You're kidding.
I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like that'd be
the Man
okay.
District.
The what?
District.
Yeah, district. Yeah. Well, districts. I
I tried their
was
food at
good.
Wiener Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
It was like
roast beef.
pastrami wrapped.
Yeah, pastrami wrapped. Yeah.
And I gotta say, like they showed up with the classic round grill, and I was like,
Yeah, they did. They had the Weber out back.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, okay.
I think that's probably why I like that hot dog so
Yeah.
much. But also, I realized too. I know we already talked about it, but I also theirs was like one of the most fresh hot dogs that I got.
Okay.
Where I had one that was not fresh.
Yeah, that
and I
kinda
was
ruined
like,
it.
I could see how this probably was good. when it
Yeah.
was fresh, but it just
I'm gonna ask you off air if we're thinking of the same one.
yeah, probably.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, I'm excited for District. Gosh, that Mellow Mushroom building, I just drove
Man,
past it.
it's
Huge.
It's gorgeous.
Oh, looks
That
even
porch,
better.
The second floor
Yes.
porch looks like a cool hangout.
I
Yeah.
saw the drawings and I was like, okay, we'll see what it looks like.
Right.
It's rare to me that you actually see a building that looks better than the drawings.
I was and I will say I was pissed off when they tore down the old the old building. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, why couldn't they have just like renovated that?
You were TO'd.
I was, and then I'm seeing the new one and I'm like, okay, this is like you're kind of winning me back over
Yeah,
because I like a good
same.
patio, I like a good rooftop terrace.
Yeah.
Man, it's
so
gonna be so busy.
It's hard for me because that Brothers Keeper building, when you look at old pictures of Ocala, it's like one of the,
yeah.
lasting buildings.
I also really loved going into Brothers Keepers because you go to the second floor where the clothes were and you're walking on that historic old floor and it's just like creaking and moving and bobbing and it's just like, they had a very unremodeled interior of that. So like, it was a cool store. It was a cool thrift store, but
Yeah. But they've done a good job with it. That, like you said, that little terrace area, it all looks so great. Exciting stuff for sure. All right, we didn't hit nearly anything on our list.
we hit one of them.
We hit one of them. Well, two of them.
Yeah,
I don't want to hit.
we'll
the
save
rest.
them. We don't have time.
You got 2 minutes.
Oh, do we?
Yeah,
I was about to shut it down.
Which one do you want to hit in 2 minutes?
All right.
Yoy drop.
What?
Yoy drop.
Oh, year-over-year drop.
Wow.
Yeah, that's less fun once you find out what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Meta, Facebook, Instagram, they're forecasting only like 20 to 30 billion in revenue or something crazy like that.
only?
But it's their first year-over-year drop, so that's kind of it's a big thing, when you're hitting that.
how will
stall
they
point.
ever financially recover?
Yeah. Well, listen. This is how things happen as we're broadcasting live on their platform. But this is how things happen. You start to see these changes.
Are we responsible? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Holy shit.
No, we're the only thing keeping them moving.
That's
yeah.
You're welcome for
I
your
think
30
that
Billy.
people, even myself, I find I'm on Facebook way less. I'm now even on Instagram. I'm on there a little less. Just you just start getting. The platforms change or whatever it is, and usership changes. TikTok has taken off. YouTube, started eclipsing or has been eclipsing Netflix for a while. Like just things change.
Yeah, that's wild to me.
I mean YouTube's hit a stall point too, but it's still it's the alphabet company's like weakest performer, but it still outperforms Netflix, which is wild.
I've been watching me a lot of like YouTube recently though.
Yeah,
But also it's it's one of those things. It's like I've stopped watching Netflix just with a kid, I don't have much time anymore. So it's like,
Yeah.
I get on YouTube and just put on these 10-minute videos or something
Right.
like that. And also, it's like, I don't know what's on Netflix because it's like they keep showing me this. I think Netflix only has like 8 shows.
Yeah, it's the same.
Because those are 8
10
shows that keep popping up in my thing. And I'm like, I
Right.
know more's here. I don't have the time to look for them, though.
Yeah. I've been overwhelmed with the Marvel stuff recently, but I
It's
really
too much of it.
I liked Moon Knight as a kid, and so I started watching the Moon Knight series.
Moon and Knights?
I like it. It can be confusing. Yeah, Moon and Knights.
I only know one
I
Moon
hope
and Night,
you
and
can
that's from
see
Aqua
this,
Team Hunger
Because I'm
Force.
doing it as hard as I can.
That's what's up. Thank you for that.
No, Moon Knight. So
Less cool.
Moon Knight to me is one of the best. You know how like people just try to shove culture into something, or
Marvel.
Like, yeah, like hey, take this, and we're shoving it into something that shouldn't really go in there. Well, Moon Knight, when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's change characters.
Yeah, we
whatever.
do know what you're saying.
Right, all right. But Moon Knight, when I was a kid, I thought, initially, he was like a secret agent and he had like a normal cover, right? And then as I got older, I'm like, oh, they kind of hint at he has like multiple personality disorder, which they now call DID. Well, the show goes straight into DID. Like, that's like. I mean, not to give it too much away, but it goes into that, like, this guy's...
I think you needed some spoilers in here somewhere.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you know Moon Knight, it's not going to be too surprising. If you don't, this will help you anyway. But it's really cool because it goes over this character and it goes over mental health in what I think is a really cool way to, yes, he struggles with it, but it's still... Did you shut it down?
No.
No, it's still going. I was going to message
You're
you.
still going.
We didn't talk about Elon Musk today.
He bought Twitter. Who cares?
Yeah, I decided not to because I don't want to hear the comments on it. Anyway, that's that. It's a cool mental health approach without taking over the entire
Basically,
show.
if you're mentally unhealthy, put on a mask and a cape and fight crime.
No, don't do that. Don't do
I
that.
thought that's what you just said.
Guys, thanks for joining us. Have a happy Friday and a good weekend.